Hi everyone, how are you today? I am just checking in to make sure that I am going live in the right group. So if you can see me and you can hear me, go ahead and say hello. Hopefully the comments are gonna come up today. But if not, I have my computer here, so I'll be able to hopefully catch your comments. So for those of you that are brand new to the group, it seems like we're getting lots of new members each and every day, which is a lot of fun. My name is Jen McKinnon. I'm your host here at the Working Homeschool Mom Club, and I also write and am creator of practicalbydefault.com, solutions for the working homeschool mom. And over the last few days, I've jumped in live here in the group, and we've talked about a few different things. So as you know, as new members come in, I have them answer 3 questions. 1 second, there we go. And so one of the questions that I have you guys answer is, let's see if I can turn off my volume here. There we go. Sorry about that. I should have learned to turn that off first. One of the questions I have you guys answer is, what is your biggest struggle? So we've been talking about curriculum. We've been talking about questions that we should ask when it comes to choosing curriculum. Hey, I've got comments on my computer. Okay. Hello, Dawn. How are you? And hello, Michelle. It's good to see you guys. So we've been talking about questions to ask about curriculum as a working mom, and we've talked about different things in our community and so on. So today I wanted to tackle balance, because balance is one of those things I'm very passionate about as a working mom. And the reason being is because so many people out there say that you cannot have balance. You'll see these memes going around that it's like balance is impossible, it doesn't exist. And the reason I think that people feel that way is because they're looking at balance as being equal. Okay, so like the old-fashioned scales, that you might see in photos or in history, they'll have scales. They'll say balance the scales. And as a working mom, equal wouldn't make sense because okay, Renee, thank you for letting me know. I'll catch you later. It'll be here. If we tried to divide our 24 hours, so we each have 24 hours, no matter who we are, what we do on this earth, we all have 24 hours in a day. And if you tried to do that equally, so say you had 8 hours of working, 8 hours of homeschooling, 8 hours of cleaning your house, 8 hours of self-care, 8 hours of eating, 8 hours of you're out of time, right? There's no way you can fit all of those things in there. So true balance is a mindset shift, and it's about knowing, it's about mindset, because it's about letting go of unrealistic expectations. So you may hear someone say you have to have a balanced outlook when it comes to, say, cleaning your house and working. We won't even put homeschooling in the picture for a second. So as a working mom, you may be out of the house if you work outside the home, or even at home, you're busy, you're glued to your computer, you're working for 8 hours. During that 8 hours, you can't make sure your house is clean, right? You could clean before, but if you have children or anybody else lives in the house, the great thing about having these wonderful humans in your house is that they mess up your house. And you're busy working, so you can't keep your house spotless when there are other people or pets or animals or anything. That would be an unbalanced viewpoint. So when it comes to being a working homeschool mom, true balance is not about equal. It's about knowing what needs to be done and choosing your priorities and using your time intentionally, doing things on purpose. So it's making the most out of your time, which is why I also feel time management skills are so important as a working mom. Knowing, what needs to be done, where you need to be, learning how to use your time wisely and intentionally is a skill that can be learned. Most of us are not born with it. And it's also way bigger than most people assume. It's funny, I have so many people come to me and they're like, well, I need time management skills. And they seem to think it's one thing, and it's not. Time management is made up of all kinds of things. It includes our self-care, it includes our homeschool, it includes meal planning, it includes cleaning the house, it's morning routines and evening routines and having routines in general. And it's about choosing planners and using the planner. And it's about all these little pieces. And so every time we learn a new piece of the time management puzzle and we get it working, it makes our life that much smoother. But it's those little steps. And sometimes we have these little steps, and it feels like we're not getting anywhere, right? So we finally managed, let's say, meal planning. All right, so we've got our breakfast plan out, we got our lunch plan out, we got our dinner plan out. But what you might find is happening is that your housekeeping routine has gone out the window. And so it needs to be continually adjusted and tweaked. And as we start watching and seeing what's falling off, we can start finding new ways to incorporate that into our routines in our life. I don't have notes today, so I'm trying to pull this out of thin air here. But it's one of those things that I feel like we're always working on. Even myself, I will do really good with meal planning. Meal planning is one of those things that I actually have under self-care because I have health issues, and when I eat, sometimes if I eat the wrong things, I get really sick. So I have to meal plan to make sure I eat the right things. And if I don't meal plan, I, one, forget to eat, and then I get so hungry, I get cranky, and then I grab foods that are not good for me because I'm in a hurry to eat, and then I'm sick. So meal planning is a way to take care of me. So if I don't meal plan my lunches, that's kind of what happens. And I turn into this cranky monster. I've actually had my boss pull me off the floor dealing with customers and saying, go eat. Don't be like me. So my meal planning will come on. I'm doing really good, and my house will be a disaster. So don't be surprised if that happens to you. It's not a sign of failure. It's a sign of growth, okay? You're learning from your mistakes. You're like, oh yeah, okay. And, I need to do these other things. Another part of balance is learning to let go of those expectations. So one thing I want to encourage you is don't be afraid to outsource. Don't be afraid to get your family involved in simple things. Your kids are all different ages and you know what they're capable of, but letting our kids learn how to empty the dishwasher and reload it is it's outsourcing. It's removing something off your plate, giving your kids the life skills that they're going to need when they move out, because that's our job, right? Raise our kids up to be responsible adults who are useful and part of the community, but we also want them to be able to take care of themselves, like laundry, cooking, taking care of household chores and minor repairs around the house. These are all things that our kids need. And as parents, I'm going to be honest, I put off teaching some of my kids some skills because it was just easier and faster and quicker for me to do it myself. So that kind of backfired for a little bit, but I soon discovered that I couldn't do it all. We often have new to working homeschool moms come to us and they're like, say to us veterans, how do you do it all? And we go, we don't. You can't, you're only one person, right? So you kind of let go. So when our kids are learning these skills, they may not do things the way we would. They may not do it perfectly, obviously. The first one, they're just learning. They may do things backwards and upside down and completely different from what we would do. And the question becomes, does it work? And, how much does it need to be fixed? So, if you're loading the dishwasher, for example, maybe you have a certain system. I always say loading the dishwasher is like adult Tetris. You got to fit all the pieces in. And kids will do it their own way. And sometimes it works. And I'm like, yep, okay, so let it go. That's part of balance. And there may be times where you can't, and you're like, okay, so, it's not safe, or this dish can't go in there because it's not dishwasher safe, that type of thing. So finding that balance is more of a mindset thing. What can you let go of? And if some things drive you crazy, if you can't have peace of mind until your kitchen's clean, go clean the kitchen. Just go clean it. For me, it's making my bed. And which is kind of crazy because you come in my house and you are never going to see my bedroom. But if my bed isn't made, it's like this mental clutter in my head and I can't let it go. So if you really can't let it go, just go do it. Take that 5, 10, 15 minutes, load the washer, do the dishes, pick up the toys off the floor. That's about balance, knowing what you can live with and what you can't live with. But I will guarantee you that your house will probably never be as clean as you want it to be. You're going to have homeschool days that go really, really well. And you're going to have homeschool days that are going to be a complete nightmare. And again, that balance comes in where you need to say, okay, it's a complete nightmare. My kids are fighting me. I don't feel good. I'm exhausted. I haven't slept in 3 years. Because I didn't when the kids were little. They didn't sleep through the night. So you learn to function on 2 to 3 hours of sleep. And it's okay. Give yourself permission to have a bad day. Give yourself permission to say, you know what? We can't do these, these homeschool things that I had planned. We're going to crash on the couch. We're going to eat bowls of ice cream. We're going to watch a documentary. We're going to play a board game. We're going to each go to our own rooms for 5-10 minutes of peace and read and play. And we're going to call it a day. And you will be amazed at what your kids will learn when you have those days. But what they're really going to learn is how to take care of themselves and understand that nobody has a perfect day. We all have bad days. And that's part of balance. And I guess that's why I get so worked up when people come to me and say balance doesn't exist. And it does exist. It's more about mindset and knowing what you need to do and what you can let go of. So that's what balance is to me. I would love to hear what balance is to you. I know we may not all agree, and that's okay. That's what makes our group so wonderful, is that we have moms from all different walks of life, all different things that we believe. And if we can have a great conversation about that, I would love to hear it. But I do want to really reiterate that please don't try to do everything equally. You'll be exhausted and burnt out, and it's not fun. You can't do it all. So don't be afraid to use things that make your life easier. Some moms use a meal, they get their food in a box. That's how they take something off their plate. Some hire housekeepers. Some use online programs. Some use audiobooks. Use the tools that make your life easier. It'll be worth it. All right, so that's it from me. I'm Jen McKinnon. It was nice to talk with you. I'm so glad I could see some of the comments today. Yay. So thank you so much. And again, if you guys have questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments, and I'll get back to you when I can. All right, have a great day. Bye.